Welcome to the Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks podcast. We cover all things natural, cultural, and historical in the world around us. Sit back and enjoy our sometimes snarky, often funny, and never dull podcast. Howdy, everybody. It's Susan with Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks.
I'm Monica.
And my trusty sidekick.
Oh, now I'm just a sidekick.
Hey, some people would be honored to be my sidekick, I think.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Well, peace out. So, so we cover the things that are cultural, historical, and natural in the world around us. Today is so natural.
It is very natural.
Which I was fascinated when I was kind of looking into this, because you and I have had many conversations about this. And it's like, we should do a podcast about dark skies.
Yes.
Dark sky parks, international dark skies. And it's like, yeah, we should probably do that. And so when you start really digging into this to figure out how we would want to start talking about it, it's like, wow, it's a whole lot deeper than I thought it was.
Do tell.
Well, I guess I didn't realize there are like 5 different types of dark skies, which I didn't know.
Okay, I didn't know that either.
And that's just the categorization that they have, because some are like, dark sky parks or dark sky. They have like different international dark skies or whatever, right? So there's different types. And then when you talk about then these dark sky places, it's like, how do they become certified as dark sky? And what the process is to become dark sky and maintain being dark sky.
Okay, so first, maybe I think we should explain what dark skies are for parks, right? I mean, they're parks that are in places where there's not a lot of light pollution that are going to allow you to see the skies. That's the basic, very basic.
Yeah, because like they say, generally, pretty much, ain't nobody really seeing dark skies, right? So they say 99% of Americans and Europeans live under light-polluted skies, which doesn't really surprise me, which just really means that the majority of people live in light-polluted places. Right. And I look at it like where I live. When I first moved out here over, 10, 15 years ago, I had such beautiful views of the sky. And even though, because I'm not in San Antonio proper, I live outside of San Antonio, technically. But where I live, it was like kind of out here on the far west side of town. And so we really had a great view of the sky and I loved it. And then they built this 2,500 home neighborhood next to my neighborhood. And so now you don't see as many stars and it made me sad, but it's exactly that thing that every year the amount of light pollution increases like 10% across the world.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
But because it's people encroaching upon places that had always been dark before, now we're manufacturing and putting up lights, right? Yep. So like in my neighborhood, for instance, we don't have street lights. Like when it's nighttime, it's nighttime. Yeah. There are no lights in the neighborhood, right? Which I'm okay with because it protects, being able to view the sky. So
when you look at the maps, like from, or like the pictures of the moon, of the earth from the moon, and you see what the earth looks like, and they do it, when it's night, when the sun's not on our end, and all you can see are these pockets of light. They're getting the pockets of dark are getting smaller all the time.
Well, yeah, and that the pockets of light are getting larger and more intense.
Yes.
And so it just takes away our ability to see these beautiful night skies and the world that sits around us outside in the galaxies, right?
Yeah.
So an interesting point about dark skies is that, which I never even thought of, but 70% of wildlife species are nocturnal.
Really?
Which when you start thinking about and putting that together with dark skies, it's like, if we don't try to preserve having dark sky areas, how do we then preserve these nocturnal animals, right?
Yes.
That this is where they thrive. That's where they feed and mate and migrate and do all that stuff.
I don't think I ever really considered that 70%, That is a really big number.
But you think about it. Because I see these fox traipse across my yard every night. It's like, they're nighttime people. Raccoons are nighttime people. Animals, they're nighttime animals.
Now you made me wonder if there was not some kind of shift. I wonder if back in the day, a lot of these animals weren't, what's the opposite of nocturnal?
I don't know.
I don't know what the word is, but
Daytime.
maybe, yeah, that some of these animals weren't daytime animals. That they didn't roam, freely during the day and sleep at night. I don't know. I mean, surely the hunters, we know the hunters or the
Right.
predators are probably more nocturnal, but I wonder if there wasn't a shift as the environment changed and more people came in, that they found that what they needed to do was better done at night when there weren't a lot of people around, and that there wasn't some kind of shift in that,
Like a survival thing.
Yeah, exactly. I
Mhm.
wonder. Now you made me think.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but when I think about the population that's around me, whether it's raccoons, possums, or fox,
Hmm.
deer, they're
Coyote.
the ones that all kind of roam at night.
Yeah,
Really. I
yeah,
mean, deer don't necessarily all just roam at night, obviously, but sometimes they sleep in my front yard.
yeah.
But it's an interesting point about there's a reason why saving and protecting night skies is so important.
Yes.
And so let's kind of go back to there's 5 different types of dark sky designations, and I needed to look at this because there are 5 distinct ones. International dark sky parks is one. International dark sky reserves. These are dark core zones surrounded by populated areas with strict lighting policies.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. International dark sky sanctuaries. So it's the most remote and the darkest places on Earth with minimal threats, which makes sense. There's some really remote places in the world that you need that can be protected and and be very remote.
Right.
Then we have international dark sky communities. This is cities and towns with comprehensive lighting ordinances,
Oh, wow.
which is a big thing because when you're in a city, it's kind of like you drive through many towns today and you can tell when cities have sign ordinances, right? That
Right.
the signs are all short. They're not these tall signs
Right.
everywhere, right?
Right.
Like billboards or for your church's fried chicken or whatever, right? They're
Yeah.
all shorter to the ground. It's kind of similar, but it is in relation to being a dark sky. And
Hmm.
then they have urban night sky places.
Oh,
So these
wow.
are dark oases within otherwise light polluted regions.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that.
When I thought of dark, I always thought they were dark sky parks. I thought that was the name. They were dark sky parks,
Yeah,
but
me too.
that's actually, yeah, not the
Well,
claim,
I've heard
not
the international part, but I just assumed that they were all,
the
you
same
know,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize that when you think about it, it kind of makes sense because cities would have to, it's kind of like, lights on your freeways, highways and stuff. It's like,
Yes.
they can be specific about lighting that points down and is a certain color of light that
Right.
helps it not be light pollution. So it
Right.
makes sense that there's a category for cities that do that kind of thing.
Sure. Okay.
So Dark Sky International is the group. It used to be called International Dark Sky Association, but Dark Sky International is the group that is the one that certifies places as being dark skies in whatever category that they're going to be in.
Okay.
And I knew that there was an organization that had to approve it, but I didn't understand really what it took to do it, or like was there a cost to do it, and what's that benefit and all that, right? But it's really like a few $100s, to put the application in, but it may be a 1 to 3 year process for these places to actually become certified
Oh, wow.
because it's not overnight. You can't just say we did it. No, it's got to be certified in a way that says, no, really, you're doing all the proper things to
Right.
make it a
Right.
dark sky. And, because one of the things that I thought was interesting too was in order to be a dark sky park, for instance, there has to be accessibility to that park after hours. So it can't be a park that has a gate that doesn't allow you in after hours, right?
Okay. Yeah,
So
that
you
makes
have to
sense.
think about what are the places that are that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Big Bend, obviously.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
trying to think
So
of.
there's a ton in the United States. The United States actually leads the world in
What?
certified dark
What?
sky places.
No way.
We are. And
Oh, yeah, USA finally.
well, I guess it's because we have a lot of, because if you think about the ones that are in the United States, there's over 45 in the national park system,
Nice.
Park Service system. So not just the big national parks, capital N, capital P, but the national park system. There's over
Right.
45 dark sky places. And so just as you were just saying, like Big Bend is one of them, Bryce Canyon's one, Arches is one. It's like a lot of them are the ones that are out west where we have a lot of land in the United States
Right.
that are in
Right.
protected areas.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so overall, internationally, there's over 250 total certified international dark sky places. As I said, of the big national parks here in the United States, I don't know if there's like maybe the big national parks, like that's what most people will go to. Like Joshua Tree is one. We just did an episode on
Yes.
Joshua Tree.
Yes.
But you think about these places, and I guess the other thing I want to bring up here when we talk about dark sky places is what do you have to plan for when you visit these dark sky places? Because I had a harsh learning when I went to one of them.
Okay.
Well, when it's your first time actually going out and going to a park for that particular reason, you're
Right.
just all excited. You got your car loaded up with the stuff you need to have and whatever. You got your flashlights, you got your headlamp, you got whatever.
Oh,
Well, and this was in 21. So I just bought my Forerunner in July. And in like September, we were going to the Mighty Five in Utah. And I'm like, okay, that'd be great. So we went to Bryce Canyon and Arches National Park for their night sky time.
hmm
And I didn't exactly know how to turn off my headlights
Oh no.
of my truck when I had gotten out of the truck. Like, how there's like a delay and
Yeah.
like you get, because you obviously need your lights to drive in and be able to
Right.
park.
Right.
Right. But when you get out and you're getting your stuff out and you have the doors open or whatever, it's like you don't realize it. Boy, did I hear it from the people that were around me.
Oh,
They were like, turn off your lights. I mean, they were
holy.
like a little mad. It's like I'm trying, and one I had to figure out how to do it, how to turn off the lights to where they wouldn't come back on every time we opened up a door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you don't think about little stuff like that because you're so used to just getting out of your car and you kind of need the light, when you pull into your driveway. And if you don't have a big flashy porch light or whatever, driveway light, you need
yes,
that light to kind of get your
yes,
stuff and get out. Yeah.
yes. So yeah,
I never
so I
thought about that.
experienced that, and I was like, I'm trying, I'm trying. It's like all you hear are these voices in the dark, right? Turn off your light, turn off. Like I'm trying. Yeah. So there are things that you want to be sure that you prepare for if you're going to go to one of these dark sky parks, particularly here in the United States. And one of them is you want to know what moon phase you're in, because you want to be in a moon phase that is a very small moon or no moon, so a new moon. So that way the sky is the darkest it can be.
Right.
Because the way that they grade these dark sky parks is that it has to be on the Bortle scale of like 1 to 3. And that what that means is that when you qualify as a dark sky park, that means that when you get out and you adjust your eyes, which they say takes about 30 minutes to the
Right.
darkness,
Right.
that you should be able to see the Milky Way.
Yes. Yes.
And
Which
I
is
just
an
gotta say,
amazing thing.
huh?
That is an amazing thing.
Because when you see it, you realize how small we are in this world.
Well, and not only that, when you see it, you're like, that's been above us the entire time. And I've never, until I got to, I don't remember which park, it must have been Big Bend or in that area. I just remember the first time I saw it, I was like, it was amazing,
Well, it's so big and beautiful, and there are just so many stars. It's
Yes.
like your mind can't comprehend what you're actually seeing.
Yes.
But I was blown away by it, but that's why it's really important that you're kind of planning ahead, that you kind of understand what the moon cycle is, to know you're going to have a dark enough sky. So you want to make sure that you're checking that. Understanding then again too that when you get out, don't just glance up and go, I don't really see anything, and then leave. You really need to give your eyes 30
Yes.
minutes to adjust, which is why those people at Arches were not happy with me with my lights on, because that was ruining their adjusting time.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know what else to do about that, but but think about that. But it takes your eyes time to do that. The other thing, and I remembered this from, I had gone to something at one of our local little colleges here in San Antonio. They were doing they do a telescope type thing, looking at the sky kind of thing at night.
Yeah.
And the big thing was you had to bring a flashlight, but it had to be a red light flashlight.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you need to invest in that. And some you can buy that are actually red lights. Some you can buy that are like a little filter you can screw onto the end of your flashlight and use that.
Little headlamps sometimes have that option too.
Except mine did not.
Oh God.
I was not winning friends and influencing people that much.
Batting 1,000 at the International Dark Sky Park.
Yeah, people, well, I didn't know. And this is why we're doing the podcast, so you will know.
Yeah.
So you want to follow the red light rule. So that's what you use. So make sure that you bring, you need a reclining chair, or you're just going to be craning up your neck all night, right? So if you can get a reclining chair, that's ideal. So that way you can just kind of relax and look at the sky in front of you and look to see if there's going to be a meteor shower. That's also helpful. And
if you don't have a reclining chair and you are okay with getting on the ground, take a nice blanket. Take a blanket,
yes, that's a good point,
or some kind of a floor covering or ground covering where you can lay on the ground and look up.
Yeah, because a blanket might be useful if it's cold because you're out there at night.
Yeah.
So there's that. So the process then of becoming a dark sky park is rather rigorous to qualify, and knowing that the United States has so many, you should definitely take advantage of. As we already mentioned, some of the parks like the Joshua Trees, Death Valley, Big Bend, Arches, Bryce, those are all wonderful, beautiful parks. And so they are available to you at night that you can go in. Just remember that when you go into some of these parks at night, there are no services out there. So you need to bring your own food and your own water, whatever. Right. Sometimes they'll still have restrooms that are open, but you'll have to just double check that to be sure, plan ahead. So we had gone to both of these parks during the day and then went back at night, so we knew what to expect because we talked to the people in the visitor center to see what was available. The other thing too, so it doesn't even have to be a national park. So for instance, here in Texas, you can go out to Alpine and go out to do the Star Party. The Star Party is a Star Party.
Yeah, we did a Star Party. What is it called? It's an extension of A&M or UT, I think.
Yeah.
That has the what are they called? Doggone it.
Astronomy?
Maybe. McDonald Observatory. That's what it is. The McDonald Observatory.
Which is a huge observatory.
It is massive. I think there's 3 big telescopes there. And we did the Star Party. And the Star Party is very reasonable. I think it's like $25.
Yeah.
But I will say, if it's cloudy or rainy, yeah, you're not going to get the view you wanted to get.
Yeah, because that happened to us in McDonald Observatory. I want to say it's in Alpine, Texas. It's close to
right outside of Alpine. Yeah,
it's all kind of in that same area. But you can. We did the Star Party. It was cloudy, but they had stations still set up with their powerful telescopes that you could still go out and see things. You just couldn't. They didn't have it all set up for everybody. It's you had to kind of go into different places. But
yeah, that's what the guy told us too. He was like, "Well, we were trying to get y'all to see a supernova, but not going to happen tonight."
Yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that it's important, when you go to any of these places, particularly if you know it's kind of a remote place, ask and see if it's a dark sky, and then take the opportunity to go at night. I think that's important. But now I will say there's a handy dandy little book. So we were given this opportunity to take a look at this book, and it's called Sticky Night Skies, right here. And it is a wonderful book, and it's by Lawrence Holt. And it is a wonderful book, and maybe it's for kids, but to me, it's like for anybody who really wants to learn the basics of something that you were interested in, but you don't want to go too far, right?
That's a great
And
little book.
I found this book to be so cool, written in a way that I could understand and follow and learn and remember, which is key, because it basically, show you page by page. There are dots on here for the stars, but it'll take you step by step by first figuring out, how do you find the Big Dipper? Then from the Big Dipper, how do you find Polaris? And then from Polaris, how do you find, Cassiopeia? Or, it's like it takes you step by step, building upon these constellations that we hear about out in our night sky. But
Yes.
you're not always sure if you're seeing the right thing, or what's in relation to whatever that is, or where Orion is, and,
Right.
where is Sirius from where Orion is. This book will tell you everything. Now, this is a little tidbit of information I think Monica's going to find interesting. This author, again, his name is Lawrence Holt. He has a series of these books, and we're going to go over some of the other books at some other time. But this particular series of books, the Sticky Notes, he did a sabbatical. Like, he's a private airplane pilot guy. And does some other stuff, but he took a sabbatical and wrote these books. You want to know where he took his sabbatical?
Where?
Umbria?
Oh, really?
In Italy.
Wow.
I'm like, when I read that, I was like, hold it. I know
love
somebody
Umbria.
who knows where that is.
Oh, that's
But
awesome.
I know, I thought, what a small little world we live in. But he has these books, and I highly recommend that if you want to know some of the basic things of our night sky, this book will take you exactly and take you through all of that, and test you kind of on how you see these things, how you see these constellations. You'll never look at the night sky differently. I mean, it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same, because you will know more about where these places are easily.
Yeah, yeah, that is a great little book, and I'm glad that you brought up. We're gonna talk about two more little books that we got from the Sticky series, and then later, after we talk about them, we're gonna give them away.
That's right. We're gonna give them away,
but
because
not right now.
You'll have to not right now. So hold your horses. But yeah, I was impressed with this book as I went through it, and then I went outside, because these books are written in a way that they really want you to learn. So it's really purposeful, going step by step in a way that you're going to digest and you're going to remember, but then going outside and kind of testing what it is that you learned in the book. So they have like a sequence 1 and a sequence 2, and you pause between the two to really reinforce what it is that you learned by going outside and actually looking at the stars. So again, when you go do dark skies, it's helpful to have something under your belt that is going to pinpoint you at least on the basics of things that you see. Because the other thing that it does really well is that it shows you like a sky that you would see in the city, like say where I live, right? I can look up to the sky. I'm only going to see a handful of whatever stars, right? But it slowly zooms you out in a way that you start seeing more stars. Can you still pick out where that constellation is for the Big Dipper, for instance? So it walks you through that page by page, so that way you can adjust your eyes of what you're looking for. I was impressed with this book and loved it.
I was looking, I believe that there is also, in addition to that book, and it's not the same people, but when we were at the McDonald Observatory, the recommended app that they recommended was called Stellarium. And I think I had a free version on it. I think I still have it. It's called Stellarium Mobile Star app. And that's also great, because once you get your bearings using that little book to kind of figure out where you are, the way this app works is that you lift your phone up and align, and then it tells you what constellations are in the area. Yeah. So that's a great little app too, that we used while we were up, doing the star party.
Because it's helpful to get your bearings. And like usually, because they say like you can see Orion in the sky all the time, right? It moves, right? Because all the stars are moving and stuff.
Right.
But you can pretty much see Orion's belt no matter what, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, if you can find his belt and find his club, which is above his arm, club, which is being held by his arm. Through the paddle of the club is where all the planets cycle through. So if you're ever looking for, when they say, oh, the 5 planets are available at sunset or whatever, the way that you can see where they are is by looking for Orion, seeing where his shield is, seeing where his club is, finding where the paddle of the club is, and that's where they will cycle through in the sky.
Yeah.
So at least you can direct your eye to what you need to be seeing.
That's very cool. That's awesome. That's what those little books, the tips that they give on those.
I learned that.
And they're small and they're easily taken with you wherever you go.
So
we're gonna do a couple more of those, but we really enjoyed those, and would like to thank Sticky for sending those to us.
Yeah, sticky notes, sticky night. Because it changed my world and how I look now at the sky, which I have a telescope. It's not like I'm a stranger to the sky, but it's like this really reinforced it because I'm really just a novice, but I just have a telescope. I just thought it was really cool. So appreciate the dark skies that we have. Work with your local communities on trying to get more of your areas to be dark sky friendly, which may just mean changing out the types of lights that you have, and see how you contribute to that in your own neighborhood and your house.
Just on an off note, I just saw something about a telescope farm. It's here in Texas, and apparently there's an area where you can kind of rent a telescope, and they are those huge ones that take pictures of the night sky, and you can kind of virtually rent them, but you get the pictures. And this guy's got tons of these telescopes, and it's here in West Texas somewhere. I don't remember where.
How cool.
But I thought that is so cool. And I have a friend who's an astronomer. He's very, very into it. He's not an astronomer, but he is very, very into it. And he put some of those pictures on his Instagram, and he was like, yeah, that's exactly how I get my stuff. And I was like, well, that's crazy. I had no idea, but
that's pretty cool.
It is very cool.
Such a great business idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That way, novices can appreciate it too and get pictures of what it is that they're appreciating.
Yep. And did you know that you can buy a star in somebody's name?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a must.
I have one for my dog who passed away.
Aw. I bought one for my wife when we were dating. Yeah.
There you go. So we know that.
Anyway.
Something to be interested in.
That's right.
Okay, well, I think that covers pretty much dark skies and the dark sky experience, and particularly here in the United States where you have many opportunities to do so. So if you like what we've talked about, be sure you subscribe to us. You like what we're putting out, hopefully, and you share it with your friends. Yeah, share it with your friends. And be sure to be on the lookout. We're going to be putting out some new style of merch out there. And be sure you can also buy us a cup of coffee if you want to see us continue to explore the world out there and bring it back
to you stuff. I learned something today. I don't know about y'all.
I learned something as I read the book. I was excited about it. Okay, well, do you have anything else, Monica?
Nope. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a giveaway with these books. So
that's right. Stay tuned. So hopefully you got to the end of this video and you heard that.
That's right.
So, until next time, I guess then we'll say
hike your hike.
And we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening, and remember to follow our podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to Two Chicks with Hiking Sticks on YouTube, where you also get to see our lovely faces, pictures, and videos of our journey.